Y'all, let's see. Let's see if how this worked today. Let's see if this is going to. Um, Sorry, y'all. See how this is going to work for me today. Okay, so I'm gonna wait as I see people coming in and see how it's gonna work on here. And if it doesn't, we will go to IG. So we'll see. So the one thing that I wanted to get on here and kind of build about today was how are we um, doing things that are consistently keeping us in alignment? What are you doing? What are the steps that you are taking to stay in alignment? Peace, beloved. What are you um, doing to help yourself stay in your goddess or God energy? Um, One of the things that we kind of touched on earlier today was a number, like everybody came up with like really good things. Hold on, I'm trying to pull up my book of things that were like from communication with your higher energy, your higher self, your ancestors, um, reclaiming our power, doing the ritual works, intention setting, all of that. And that could be a whole lot. The thing that I notice about when you're coming into this journey, it can be a lot. It can be overwhelming. It could seem like, oh my gosh, how am I going to keep up with all of this stuff? How you got to learn. You thinking you learning deities, you learning orishas, you learning what candles is for what incense is for what oil is for what, just so you can feel like you are closer to who you are. And it goes to what I always am saying is the real tool is you. So how are you connected to yourself? How are you empowered within yourself? So the things that are going to help you resonate with that particular energy is how do you start your day? What are you doing when you are starting your day so you can resonate with that energy? Okay? It's real simple. It don't mean that y'all gotta have or know all of these different things. Yes, does it help because now you'll understand the psychology behind it. If you know why you like the smell of cinnamon, if you know why you like the smell of Palo Santo compared to sage, if you know the meaning behind herbs like burdock root and um, cloves and bay leaves, da 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 da, whatever. I get that part. Yeah, it helps. But at the end of the day, how well do you know yourself? How well are you in tune with yourself where it is triggering this energy, where it is triggering the dynamic that you need when it comes to how you are elevating, how everything is resonating for you. So, this is the thing that I go to when you wake up. What time are you waking up? Are you waking up at a time frame that is rushing you to go through with the movements and the direction and the things that you need before you got to be at work or before you got to get the kids ready? Don't do that. Wake up at an hour that is going to be balanced for you. Wake up at a time frame where you can truly sit still, whether that's through your meditation, whether that's just through your, I don't want to say prayer space, but almost like you're speaking life into to your day, whether it's that you're receiving your downloads, whatever you want to call it, take that time to set that space aside. Take that time to understand what that energy is there for. Because if you don't, it's going to be feeling like you rush and you're going to be thinking your mind. This is why a lot of times people, when they sit down to meditate, their mind is going a bunch of different places. You're sitting down at a time frame when you're meditating that is not conducive to your lifestyle. It's too much going on. You might have tried to do it right when you got the kids. No, do things that are going to trigger and set the tone for that energy. So that's the whole key. Is when you getting up in the morning, in order for you to tap into this alignment and tap into source, you need to be setting things that are going to be connected to that. So I think I spoke on my IG live earlier about when we are laying in bed and we wake up. First thing you should be doing is being in tune with your heartbeat and your breath. That's real simple. The more that you master how to be in tune with your heartbeat and your breath, the more you will be able to do when it comes to astral travel, when it comes to lucid dreaming, when it comes to meditation, when it comes to all of these higher dimensional work. It really resonates from how am I breathing? Knowing I am in control and in tune with my breath, knowing I'm in control and in tune with how my heart is putting out that frequency. Everything for me is a heart space, and maybe that's because I'm a Leo. I don't know, but that's one of your strongest vibrations in your body is your heart. So that's the first thing you should be in tune with: your breath and your heart. It's real simple. It's not hard. It's not complicated. Sit there, be still. Don't pick up the phone. Don't do nothing that is going to create this, you know, you jolting into reality. You want to ease into reality, ease into this dimension. So that means that you need to sit still. Boom. Focus on this, focus on that. Get all the different dynamics together in that element. I'm sorry, everybody is on my Instagram, like texting me right now. Um, so once you have done that, my next thing is sitting there and going through visually how I want my day. Everything for me starts with visualization. So how am I visualizing? I'm going through and running through my thoughts. How am, I seeing the motions of the day, creating everything. There's power in visualization. Please trust me when I tell you. If you are creating the movements throughout the day, what it is that you need to do, how is it happening, the energy you're feeling, you can pretty much set the tone and the energy of what's going to unfold as the day goes. You can kind of prep yourself on the different dynamics and how you are maneuvering through the day. So sit there, visualize. Boom, 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 boom. How you want your energy. It could be simple. You ain't even got to go that deep. That might be too much. Maybe you should even just start with how do I want people to receive my energy as I move through the day? How do I want people to receive my energy as I move through the day? It's real simple. Oh my gosh, they are like going in. So after we do that, the next thing that we would do is now you can decide, do you want to get up? Do you need to do, for me, it's yoga. I do comedic yoga. So I'll do some comedic yoga. Once again, what is that teaching me? How to be in tune with my body and my breath. So everything is very intentional. I make a ritual out of everything. So my morning ritual is very set. I am like, boom, 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 boom. You have to create that time. It almost have to be a sacred space. The same way when like if you were in the church, you had to go do certain dynamics. It is the same concept. You need to be as dedicated to yourself in that morning time, the same way that we were to religion, the same way we are to other dynamics. When you go to work, you got to clock in, you got a routine that you do. So that same routine that you do for everyone else, you have to create that in your own life. So now you're committed to, I'm always going to be walking in this space. I'm always going to be walking in this energy. I'm always going to be walking in alignment with my highest self. How do I do that? It's being in tune with breath, being in tune with my body, being in tune with who I am, my own dynamic. So now that you're doing that, you're creating, you might not like yoga. It might just be some regular stretches for you. It might not be that. It might be, let me go get me a cup of tea. That's normally my last thing for me. Because, like I said, I go through breath, I go through heart, I go through visualization, then I go through movement. But my movement is sacred, so I call it sacred movement. So then it's my sacred movement. What am I doing that is putting me intentionally to my space, to myself, how I'm resonating with the outside world? When it's warm, I go outside and do it, but it's cold as hell. So I ain't going outside right now. But movement. Then it's, you know, whatever I decide I want to do from that point on. A lot of times it's me journaling because after I get everything moving, then I will sit there and I'll journal for a certain amount of time. I read. I try to do things that are going to keep me in a certain space. While I'm doing that reading or journaling, it might be drinking certain teas. I normally drink teas with ginger in it or things that are good for circulation in the morning is normally my go-to. So doing things that resonate with that and making sure that you are in a certain energy. So then when you are actually in the thick of your day, like when you are, now it's time to get the kids up, now it's time for me to go to work, you have already had such a peaceful, in alignment time with your day and yourself. You are definitely in tune and resonated with that higher self throughout the day. Having things that remind you, this is something really big for me. I always have something on me that reminds me of my highest self. Like I'm always have crystals so that when I'm in a space that it's challenging me more, I'm being tested more, I'm gonna pull on my crystals. I'll be having crystals in my pocket, everywhere. Crystals be all over the place. Or it could be something like I've started back wearing my feather earrings. It'll be something like that. So if something is testing me, there's something on me. Adornment is so powerful. Adornment is so instrumental in how do you remain and stay in that goddess energy? How do you remain and stay in your God energy, in your God self? And the reason that adornment, because now you have some symbolism that is going with you throughout the day that is saying, oh, this is when that person is testing you and trying to take you to a lower level energy. You have this something on you where you can be like, okay, you almost made me forget who I am. You almost made me come out of pocket. Now I remember, let me come back to myself. Let me get back in tune with breath so you can walk away. Okay? Having those dynamics that are always around you or represented in you so you can come back to being centered. It's not easy sometimes, especially in the world that we in. Especially if you still working for corporate America. It's not easy. So then my other thing that I always, really, really focus on is, what are you eating? Please understand that energy is attached to food. So if you are not in a space where, um, y'all, I might be switching over to IG because everybody keep asking what my what you call it is, but I thought everybody knew what the YouTube page was. I don't know. We'll see. I might end quick and then jump on IG. Um, Eating foods that are vibrational. You need foods that are high vibrational. Foods that are low vibration or carry a certain energy. Please understand everything is energy. Foods that carry a lower energy or a lower vibration will affect how we, um, it'll either make us sluggish, it'll make us more drained. So you have to even study that to a certain dynamic. Think about the foods that are more beneficial that feed us life. So that's why you really should be eating more fruits and vegetables because they are what? Products of the sun. They're products of the four elements, really. So you got to think when you are doing that, you want to make sure you're putting that in your body throughout the day. So then when it's time for you to go to bed, You have done all the things that are supporting this energy. The whole goal is to always consistently be doing things that are supporting a certain energy. If you are not doing things throughout your day that are supporting a certain energy, it's going to be real hard for you to stay in alignment. It's like no getting around there. Always doing things, and that's probably one of my key things. I don't care what it is you do, whether it's how you eat, how you think, the food, like the information you putting in, what you seeing on your timeline, all the things, your friends, all these things should be coming from a space where it's feeding you life. How is this feeding you life? If it's not feeding you life, it gotta go. It's real simple. It should not be in your life. It should not. Choices you making. I I'm saying it, and I will say it probably 100 times more. If the choice is not in alignment with your highest self, it is not in alignment with your purpose, it's easy. It should be easy. You will know. You're choosing to be in a certain mindset. You choosing to deal with certain lessons. If you're choosing to deal with those lessons, then you should be okay with what the outcome is. Simple. At night, when I get home, after everything is all said and done, if I'm on here, IG, whatever, the one thing that I always do, I go back and I normally either, I make a routine and a ritual out of that. I'll make a ritual out of how I am caring for my body. I make a ritual out of what I do when it's time for me to actually lay down. So it's typically almost like everything that I did in the morning, but in reverse. So normally it's like if I had a really crazy, crazy day, then 9 times out of 10, I'm saging like crazy. Saging the house, saging my bathroom, um, taking if I need a spiritual bath because it's been that rough of a day, or if I need something to cleanse my aura, I actually have like a bottle. It's a little bit bigger than this piece. I have a bottle that I have that's a little bit bigger than this that I put Epsom salt, Florida water, and it's got a couple of other ingredients in there that when I'm in the shower, I just squeeze it in my hand and I like make sure that I wipe myself down with it before I even start, just to break the energy, to break and cleanse that energy off of me. So that's one of my go-tos in the evening. Like in the evening, it's about um, making sure that you are decompressing from the day, cleansing yourself of the energy piece of all the things that you have went through. So you want to really take the time to break that energy off of you. Take that time to like really, decompress from that dynamic. Um, After I do all of that, like I said, I make a ritual. Like even when I'm taking a shower, and I'm skipping some stuff, but even when I'm taking a shower, y'all, I light candles. I light incense. I sage. I do it like I'm getting ready to do some candle magic. It'd be like for real, a full live. I'm getting ready to get into some work because it is work. This is your sacred space. This is your sacred temple. This is what you are. My favorite word, precious cargo. You are the best, the most important and best magical tool there is. So if I'm saying that it's the most important dynamic, why am I not caring for this energy? I have to care for it. That means I'm going to set everything up like it is sacred. It is a ritual. So I'm going to set the tone in the bathroom. I'm playing certain music. I'm, like I said, lighting candles. For me, I light either gold or yellow candles because of Oshun. Mainly in the morning. That's my go to for that type of energy. And then if it is in the evening, 9 times out of 10, I'm probably doing Yemiya because I'm asking for her to protect and comfort me. So it might be yellow or gold candles in the morning, white candles in the evening. It's up to you. You ain't even got to get like figure out what works for you. What is the strength and the energy that you need when you are going through the day That's what you need to pull in energy wise. In the evening, it should be, what is the thing that I need when I'm ready to rest? Who am I calling upon? What am I relaxing to in order for me to rest and recharge and rejuvenate to go into this next day? So it should be a ritual. Once we get through that shower space, now I'm sitting down and I might be meditating. Sometimes I do a little yoga then too, depending on if my body is still feeling tense. If my body is still feeling tense, then I 9 times out of 10 I done did some yoga somewhere in there. But doing some sacred movement, doing your journaling for the day, doing your meditation for the day, and then going into a space of, let me speak to my ancestors. Let me speak to whoever it is that you want to speak to so you can call in a certain dynamic. This is what I see. Just establishing, that's part of you establishing this relationship. How am I establishing my relationships to my ancestors? You have to do it from that dynamic. You have to do it where, like I said, it should be second nature. You should not feel like it's a stress. The same way you brush your teeth, you should be making a sacred ritual in how you honor yourself. If you are gods and goddesses, you have to make sure that you are operating in a space like, I'm honoring myself the way that I'm honoring everything else. I'm honoring myself. And that's how you should look at it. Like when I wake up, how am I honoring myself? How am I honoring the higher energy in me? Okay. So I was gonna stay on here, but I got like everybody inboxing me like they don't know my YouTube page, and maybe I should have posted it. That might be my fault. So I'm gonna hold myself accountable. So I'm gonna get off of here. I'm gonna go on there, but I am gonna start doing my YouTube classes and lives more frequently on here, so y'all can catch certain topics that people have been asking me about. I really wanted to get into like, how are we creating the ritual works to be in alignment with ourselves? What are small things that we can do that is not making us feel like it's too overwhelming? Almost like, what is getting into our own spirituality, or a journey to spirituality for dummies, for lack of a better word. How can we make this simple? How can we make this where it's easily accessible? It's not overwhelming, because it's not. People will make it harder than what it is. Y'all hear me say all the time, this is not, I promise you, it's not brain surgery. I promise. I promise it's more like, what are you innately drawn to? What am I naturally doing? There's certain things that you are naturally drawn to, and it's for a reason. Tap into that energy. How am I naturally tapping into my highest self? What are things that I already do, but I don't know why I'm doing it? What are things that I like when it comes into this particular journey? Things that, like I said, if you are, I'm going to talk about Oshun all day. You dealing with Oshun energy, why am I always drawn to Oshun? Dissect that. Oh, you like honey? Oh, you like cinnamon? There's a reason that there's certain things that are pulling for you to gravitate to that energy. So when you are in that space, you're like, oh, okay, boom. Now I know. Now I can apply it to my everyday life. And that's the whole goal. Finding those small things. You don't have to be dogmatic about this, but finding little small things that trigger that element in you. And it's something that's very easy that you can utilize day to day, not just, okay, every once in a while. You want to create a lifestyle that is very easy for you to walk into. And the only way we can do that, one, you have to truly believe in what it is that you're saying you are. Truly believe it. Don't just talk it. Don't just lip profess it. Believe it. Know it. It's a, we coming into the age of Aquarius. It's all about knowing, not just saying, but I know. I know I am this energy. I know I am powerful. I know I am connected. Whatever the case it is, it's like you're supposed to be like hardcore, like boom. I already know. So now it's just about utilizing that information that you have gathered. And how do I make this easy for me? How do I make this part of my journey every day? How do I always make sure that I have something that is representing that goddess energy or that godlike energy every day? It could be as simple as the way that you know, carry yourself as far as how you wear your clothes, how you wear your hair, how you adorn yourself, the scent that you wear, things that are going to be triggers and symbolic throughout the day to keep you in that space. Because the attack is hard out here. And I say it all the time. This attack out here be hard. So you got to go almost 10 times harder. 10 times harder than they going. Okay? So, because they keep texting in here and it's just like every time it does it, it does the screen does something funky. I'm gonna go jump on my IG and I'm thinking, what is today? Tuesday. Wednesday is probably gonna be my permanent YouTube day. I'm gonna jump on every Wednesday and do like a specific topic. So one, I can actually get my whole thought process out and not be disrupted. And then two, it can create some consistency on here as well. All right. I love y'all for the ones that do listen and follow directions. And I will, if you coming over